Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Hare Krishna. Here we are. We're reading Bhagavad-gita as it is, by translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And my name is Labanga Latika. And our channel is called Bhagavad-gita. Here it is. I am reading now from the 4th chapter, Transcendental Knowledge. And we are getting to know Krishna a little better. Today we are starting with text 12. Kankshanta karmanang siddhing yajjanta iha devata kriprang hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. Purport. There is a great misconception about the gods or demigods of this material world, and men of less intelligence, although passing as great scholars, take these demigods to be various forms of the Supreme Lord. Actually, the demigods are not different forms of God, but they are God's different parts and parcels. God is one, and the parts and parcels are many. The Vedas say, Nityo Nityanam, God is one. Ishvara Parama Krishna, the Supreme God is one, Krishna. And the demigods are delegated with powers to manage this material world. These demigods are all living entities, Nityanam, with different grades of material power. They cannot be equal to the Supreme God, Narayan, Vishnu or Krishna. Anyone who thinks that God and the demigods are on the same level is called an atheist or Pashandi. Even the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva cannot be compared to the Supreme Lord. In fact, the Lord is worshipped by demigods such as Brahma and Shiva. Shiva Virinchinutam. Yet, curiously enough, there are many human leaders who are worshipped by foolish men under the misunderstanding of anthropomorphism or zoomorphism. Iha Devata denotes a powerful man or demigod of this material world, but Narayana, Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not belong to this world. He is above or transcendental to material creation. Even Sripad Shankaracharya, the leader of the impersonalists, maintains that Narayana or Krishna is beyond this material creation. However, foolish people, Hrita Jnana, worship the demigods because they want immediate results. They get the results, but do not know that results so obtained are temporary and are meant for less intelligent persons. The intelligent person is in Krishna consciousness, and he has no need to worship the paltry demigods for some immediate temporary benefit. The demigods of this material world, as well as their worshippers, will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. The boons of the demigods are material and temporary. Both the material world and their inhabitants, including the demigods and their worshippers, are bubbles in the cosmic ocean. In this world, however, human society is mad after temporary things, such as the material opulence of possessing land, family, and enjoyable paraphernalia. To achieve such temporary things, people worship the demigods or powerful men in human society. If a man gets some ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, he considers that he has achieved a great boon. All of them are therefore kowtowing to the so-called leaders or big guns in order to achieve temporary boons, and they indeed achieve such things. Such foolish men are not interested in Krishna consciousness for the permanent solution to the hardships of material existence. They are all after sense enjoyment, and to get a little facility for sense enjoyment, they are attracted to worshipping empowered living entities known as demigods. This verse indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. they are mostly interested in material enjoyment, and therefore they worship some powerful living entity. Yes, the devas, the demigods. We don't hear so much about them on this western side of the world, and so therefore they're a little bit of a different concept. But in the Vedas, they are all over the place. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, we meet with the demigods. The universe, there are the sun, there are many planets. We live on the Earth planet, which is the place for human beings. And of course, we have some plants and animals as well, but this is our place. The devas, they live on the higher planets. There are also lower planets in this universe. And because the soul transmigrates from body to body, when we die, we get the opportunity to take birth in a different body, according to our desires, according to the results of our activities. We get to experience different levels of life in this universe. So the devas, they have great powers, and the Vedas are describing many different forms of yagyas and worship. So for different results, one can turn to different demigods. And such yagyas are also given to Vishnu. It's like if you have a government, then you may have, if you have a monarchy, you may have a king. If you have a democracy, you may have a government with a prime minister or some such title. And as a regular person, you do your job and you pay your taxes. And you get to experience certain benefits. There are hospitals and roads and so many things. But then if you think that you want some benefits, and you will go individually to the individual ministers, or what you call them, the more bureaucratic members who are not elected but who do a lot of work in government organizations. If you go to them individually and try to give them some money because you want them to give you some benefits, that is called bribery and corruption, and it is illegal. And in the same way, on the universal platform, we have Krishna, and he sometimes comes in the form of Vishnu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then we have the devas, and they are all serving him. And sometimes Vishnu will have to take the... I just heard about this. If there is no qualified living entity, then Vishnu may take the form of some demigods in some creation, in some universe. That is possible. As far as I know, at this time, our devas, they are all individual jiva souls, just like we are, but they have a higher position. Just like a minister, he's just a human being, but his position is different. So on the power of his position, he has certain, he's able to have some influence on society different from what I have or you have. And with the demigods, it's similar. If a person has a certain level of karma and also a certain level of surrender to Krishna, actually, it's not just the good karma, but they're also prepared to do the job in the universe on behalf of Krishna. You can be a demigod, which is some work, some fun, and of course existence on a level different from the earthly planet, which many people desire. Because there is a different level of enjoyment, there is a different level of... There's actually no physical suffering there. There will be suffering on other levels, because you still have to die, you still will have to experience emotional different things. You will not suffer as we do here from you will not get sick, you will not grow old in that sense. So you can be a demigod, it's possible. But to worship the demigods and thinking, there are so many gods, they're all the same, we can worship this one or that one, they are all interchangeable. No, they're not, because the demigods themselves, they are working under Krishna's directions to maintain the universe. Very important positions. So sometimes when we speak like this, especially those of us who are Westerners who have no experience, or who are, the demigods are not part of our tradition, we haven't really heard of them before, and then we hear here that we should definitely not worship the demigods, we should turn to Krishna directly. It doesn't mean we should be disrespectful of the demigods, of course, but we have to understand what is what. And Krishna says, if somebody has these desires of fruitive activities and quickly wanting those results, they turn to the demigods and you get some results and then you die. And what's the use of that? So therefore, Bhagavad-gita will at all times stress the fact that as human beings in this world, we should be very careful to get started with our devotional service, with our self-realization, with our spiritual path. Because then we die and then we don't know what we get. So if the whole life was spent, we find that sometimes we go out on the street and we bring a book and we approach people and we're saying, yes, we are coming here with these wonderful books that are translated into your language, and we don't even have a fixed price, just give a donation and take a book with you. And people are all, I don't have time. But the thing is, this human form of life, if we're lucky, we will live for 100 years. And if we don't start practicing our spiritual life, then we really don't know where we're going. Even if we are following very strictly this dharmas and worshipping demigods and so on, we may have some good karma for the next life. It's actually possible to go to the heavenly planets by worshipping the specific person in charge of that planet. We heard about Surya, he's in charge of the Vivasvan, in charge of the sun. He's a sun god. There are many such devas, and we can go to their planets, but even then we will have to die. It's a little bit like living in this, as a human being on this planet, it's a little bit like going to work. If we do our duties, we get paid. Then we can go for a holiday to some place very enjoyable. But when we run out of money and holiday time, we have to come back to our regular day job again. So being a human being, gathering some good karma, doing some yagyas, it's possible to go to the heavenly planets and stay there for a while. But when we run out of that karma, we come right back here again to this planet as human beings. So those results are temporary and are meant for less intelligent persons. Because if we're a little more intelligent, we will want to do something that will be satisfying in the long run. And with the long run, we mean eternally, because the soul is eternal. So it's very poetic here. The demigods and their worshippers are bubbles in the cosmic ocean. So yes, it is a little more cultured to have an understanding of what the demigods are, who the demigods are. It's a little more cultured to understand that to get results, it's not enough to just work and take resources from the earth and sell them at a very high price so that we can be very opulent and well-to-do, and mostly everybody else has to have less than us. That is such a limited worldview, and understanding yagyas, understanding devas, understanding the transmigration of the soul is definitely a step up, a broadening of our view. But if we don't understand it in perspective of our eternal nature as spirit soul and our connection to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we're still not getting the full picture, and we're still kind of wasting our life a little bit, I would say. So that's Bhagavad-gita for you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.